Hey, friends! Barkey J. Dog here, back with another movie review. This time I have a mystery thriller for you that was based on a graphic novel with an unusual setting. And it follows the story in the comic pretty well. We're talking about Whiteout from 2009. Our story goes like this. As our story opens in the 1950s, the Ruskies are up to no good. As usual. They're flying this transport plane over Antarctica, and it's carrying some kind of valuable cargo we don't learn about until later. Anyway, the pilots decide to hijack the cargo, and to do that, they have to delete the guards. It doesn't go so well, and they crash. Flash forward to the present day, and U.S. Marshal Kate Beckinsale is working a case. A body has been found out on the ice, and it's a big mystery what happened to him. And at every turn, there's another mystery, and forces are working against her. So is the killer. Now, Stetco is stationed in Antarctica for a reason from the past, which involved an arrest that went bad, leaving her the only survivor. So, she has trauma and issues and stuff. Her badge is on the line, and she has to solve the case. But time is running out. It's almost winter, and night is approaching, and in the Antarctic, that means 6 months of darkness and hellacious winter storm. Most of the people evacuate from the polar station during the winter, and because a killer is running around, the base commander decides to fully evac the personnel. So Stetco has to solve the mystery and find the killer before he strikes again while the staff is still on the ice. What were the Ruskies carrying on that plane? Can Stetco solve the case in time? And has the Antarctic ever been warmer? In our cast, aside from Kate Beckinsale, of course, we have Tom Skerritt as Dr. Furry, or Fury. They pronounce it Furry. There are a few other name brands, sort of. Alex O'Loughlin plays Russell Hayden. He was fake Steve McGarrett in fake Hawaii 5-0. That's the rehash made by Alex Kurtzman, the molester of Star Trek. I've not seen any, don't care, never will. Stick to the real Hawaii 5-0 if you want to watch that. Like Magnum P.I., it was one of only a handful of TV shows that ran for a long time but never jumped the shark. I don't know what he's like in that, but he's okay here. Gabriel Macht plays Robert Price. He had just played the Spirit in the movie adaptation of the comic book hero the year before he was in this film. Whiteout was based on a graphic novel written by Greg Rucka and drawn by Steve Lieber. It's pretty good. It was based on an article Rucka read about how there's a U.S. Marshal stationed in the Antarctic to deal with crime, which is true, although they don't have quite the range of authority shown in the movie. Whiteout follows the story of the comic fairly well, while at the same time making allowances for the motion picture screen. One big change is the facility where Stetco is based. In the novel, it looks like a pretty typical industrial type setting. And it's kind of realistic, right? Whereas here, it looks more like a moon base, all kind of sci-fi looking and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool though, and it doesn't harm the story. We also see scientists working on ice cores. I just saw something on the news where scientists had drilled to the very bottom of the ice, and they were looking at cores of ancient ice to determine weather patterns and volcanic eruptions and stuff from the distant past. And they mentioned doing something like that here. As for the main character, Stetco, in the graphic novel, her character is more frumpy. So, having Kate Beckinsale play the part was definitely a step up, if you ask me. Fortunately for us, Kate isn't anything like that. Besides, she's really good here. Again, a strong female character you can root for, as opposed to the one that's all girl bossy. with fake skills she pulled out of thin air because, girl. By comparison, Stetco has made mistakes and she's trying to make good. She has worries and anxieties and drama and stuff, but still manages to hold her own and kick ass. People wonder why I don't review many things playing at the theater today, or why I don't hate watch shows on streaming like the other review channels do. That's because this is the worst era of entertainment ever, and I'd rather watch something that was actually entertaining, even if it's bad, than watch the kind of anti-tainment that's been produced for the last 8 or 9 years now, and have to pay for it on top of that. I'd way rather watch the older stuff and things like this movie. Anyway, Kate is really good in Whiteout, but her presence in this picture does raise a problem. Kate made this picture, and she made that last Underworld movie, Blood Wars, right? Both set around the ice caps. Add in Julia Ormond in Smell a Sense of Snow, which took place on the ice in Greenland. And now, the climate has gone all kablooey. Now, Katie, you just got to stop making movies set in the Arctic or Antarctic, all right? You're just too hot. You're too hot, Katie, and you're melting the ice caps, okay? So for the good of all mankind, maybe stop making movies there. Maybe make one set at the beach where you could wear a bikini, or go skinny dipping. Yeah, I'm feeling some global warming coming on right now, just thinking about that. Anyway, Whiteout is pretty good, and it shows off a landscape we don't often see done that well. Here it looks realistic aside from moon base Antarctica. But even that looked cool. The mystery is good, and there's some fair action too. The fights and things feel very real, not fake or overdone. And the kinds of people we see stationed at this installation were interesting and believable. Plus, the movie respects the source material. It's a bit run-of-the-mill, perhaps, a bit of a slow burn, but still refreshing in a way, and I enjoyed it. So I'm giving Whiteout 2.5 paws up. Well worth checking out. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.